Hi, my name is Samantha Cordy, but you guys can definitely call me Sam. I'm 19. I'm a freshman at the University of Washington here in Seattle. I'm originally from San Jose, California, which is kind of like the Bay Area, South Bay. My parents still live there, and so does my younger brother. He's a sophomore in high school, as well as my two dogs. Um, I I think if there were five words that someone who knows me really well would describe me with, it would be empathetic. I find it's really easy for me to put myself in somebody else's shoes. I'd say aware. I'm really just kind of, I find it's easy to kind of be aware of my surroundings, as well as aware of my actions. I'd also say, I think they would say generous. I love giving gifts. I love volunteering. I love helping people. So if I can give my service, if I can give my time, like I'd love to. I'm really animated. I think I talk pretty much, maybe more with my face than I do with my actual words. I also talk with my hands a lot. I'm trying not to right now because I know it's really distracting. But when I tell stories, like I'll use voices, I'll do impressions. Like I like being a storyteller, and it kind of comes across in the way that I talk. And finally, I'd say passionate. I When I care about something, I care about it pretty much wholeheartedly. I'm passionate about being a good friend. I'm passionate about helping the environment. I'm passionate about playing guitar. And those are things that I care about and I strive to be better at, and I work towards like a little bit every day. Um, in terms of like, have I been a camper or have I worked in a camp before? Yes to both. I was a Girl Scout for 13, 12 years. So I've been to a lot of Girl Scout camps. I've hosted a couple. Like with my troop, obviously. I've organized and ran three Girl Scout camps that were about a weekend long. The camporee that we do every year, I've done three times. And then I think there was a fourth time where I didn't organize it, I only worked at it. But that was so much fun because it leaves a lot of like organization, which is great, but also you get to work with the girls a lot, which is so much fun. Just doing activities, making crafts, going on hikes, like it's so much fun. Um, the last the last time I worked with children was a science camp that I did. It's through Walden West, so it's technically more of an outdoor school. But I volunteered for a week, and I was a cabin leader. So I'd sleep in the cabin with the kids. I'd help them get ready. We'd do activities together, a lot of bonding, and then also I would go with another group of kids to, like, with a field instructor, and we'd do hikes, we'd do educational things, we'd look at the ecosystems, we'd look at the environment. So that was great because there was a lot of teaching that was involved with that one. I was also a private tutor for a little while, so like I don't know, I like teaching kids as well as just like working with them. Um, I think the major responsibilities of a camp counselor, well, number one is like the kids come first, obviously. Camp is such like a vital like experience for a lot of kids. I know it was for me, and I really want to make sure that their safety is number one. I also want to make sure they're having a good time, obviously. You have to kind of be a leader. You have to be able to take charge, take initiative. And considering the amount of activities that Camp Walton offers, I definitely say you have to be a good teacher. In terms of being patient, being experienced, or even if you aren't experienced, just putting your best foot forward. Like, it never hurts to set a good example and trying your absolute best at something. Good qualities that I think I have. I'd say I'm pretty understanding. I definitely know what it's like to be a camper. And I don't know, I remember what it was like to be a kid and to have so much fun at camp. And I think it's really easy for me to kind of like put myself in another person's shoes, so to speak, and just be really understanding. I'm also experienced both in camping, like being a camp counselor as well as being a teacher. And I think that would be like those are good qualities, obviously. And then I'd say I'm very caring. Like I said, I want everyone to have a great time, whether it be like I want to make whoever is in charge of me, I want their lives to be easier. I want the kids to have fun. I want my coworkers, my teammates to have a great time. Like I care a lot about other people. And I want to do my best to make everyone else happy as well. My last job was at a Yankee Candle. I worked there for a little over a year. I actually really loved it. It was a small team. There were probably only about 6 of us at our, maybe not our most. Our regular team was about 6. With holiday help, we'd have maybe 10 people. But no, I absolutely adored having such a small team because we were so close. We were all so supportive. It really did feel like a second family. And that was a great atmosphere to work in. It really, I don't know, I've worked in groups where I've had like 6 coworkers and groups where I've had like 30 coworkers, and I don't know, I loved how personal like everything felt and how like it felt like they were friends rather than coworkers, and that was really great. If I had to make one suggestion, I probably would have said something that like just reminded them that I was still in high school when I was working there for the most part. So there would be nights where like I'd have to close kind of late, or I'd have to come in at like weird days, and it was just like if anything, I'd want to remind them that like, hey, sorry, like school really comes first for me. But even then, that was like such a rarity. It didn't deter from my experience there that much. Something that I find really important in an employer is I work really well with feedback, kind of like both positive and negative. Like if there's something that my employer sees that they really like that I'm doing, I'd love it if they would mention it to me, just because it's really encouraging and it really brightens my day. But also if there's something that they need me to improve on, like I absolutely want them to tell me. Let's see. My outdoor experience, I really like hiking. There were foothills behind my house growing up, and I loved the days when my friends and I would just like pack little bag lunches and go up there and just explore. And I don't know, that was my favorite part, was just like, it felt like we had this whole world in front of us, and we could climb the trees and we could look around and we could like look at the animals and the bugs. Like it was so much fun just exploring and being out there. And I absolutely adore hiking. I love going new places. Stand-up paddleboarding is something that I don't get to do as much anymore since coming to Seattle, but it is one of my favorite activities to do outside. Those are the 2 main ones for me. And then I'm really happy that I'm gonna potentially be away all summer, just because moving to Seattle, it's a big city, it's kind of bustling, it's cold. Sometimes it can feel a little cold, like personally as well. And I definitely think spending the summer outside, spending the summer up in the mountains, I think it's gonna be a change of scenery and a change of pace that's gonna be really refreshing. I think maybe it's something I kind of need. If I could ask Camp Walton any question, I'd want to know how many kids come back, like year after year. Like what percentage of kids like go once and they're like, that was cool, and like never again. And then how many are like, this was so incredible, like I love it, I want to come back, like I want to just spend every summer here. I don't know, I think that would say a lot about the camp and a lot about like where I'd potentially be working, and the atmosphere and stuff. My number one reason, I've found that there's nowhere quite like camp. I have tried looking for things similar, and I've never found anywhere that makes me as happy as just camp. Like just the atmosphere, the community, I've yet to find anything like it, and it's maybe my favorite place to be. So the idea that I could spend a whole summer at like my favorite place would be incredible. For this next one, Let's see. How many activities I think that I could do with no training? Probably drama, guitar, song leading. If this looks weird, it's because I have this sheet like up here. I'm so sorry. Drama, guitar, song leading, lanyards, probably photography. Windsurfing slash supboarding, I'm hesitant to say I definitely could because I do have experience supboarding, but I don't have experience windsurfing. So probably. And then I think with training, I could do arts and crafts. Actually, arts and crafts I could do without training. Ceramics, etched glass, weaving, woodworking. Ropes course, I have a lot of experience doing, but no experience leading, so I think with a little bit of training, I absolutely love it. I think disc golf, probably archery. I'd say sailing, horseback riding. I used to horseback ride probably for 6 years, but it has been a while since I've actually done it. So I think with a little bit of training, I could hop back into it pretty quickly. As well as street hockey and probably disc golf, if I didn't say that one already. All the other ones I'd absolutely be willing to give my best shot at, but I don't have much experience in. Especially things like air rifle and slingshots. Like, I personally don't have any experience in it, but if you guys are willing to train me, I'm absolutely willing to put my best foot forward in that regard. And then finally, what I think I would bring to camp is a lot of enthusiasm. Like I said, camp is my favorite place to be, and I think if I could wake up every morning and be there, I would be so happy. I'd bring a lot of energy. I'd bring a lot of just, I don't know, overall enthusiasm. I know I've said that before, but I just, like, the idea of potentially being there makes me so happy, and I can only imagine what it would actually be like to be there. I think I'd be really supportive, as a coworker, as a teammate, and also as, like, a role model. I know it's really important for kids to have, like, good role models that they can look up to and that support them, and I really want to be that. Yeah, I think that's it. So overall, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon. Thank you!